Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the FV217 Badger, the Tier 10 British tank destroyer. I almost said SPG there, it's not. It is actually a self-propelled gun, but it's not the sort that fires a howitzer. No, this one's located on the southwest spawn of Karelia under the command of marke12. Well, you may be saying to yourself, hang on a sec, didn't we just do a replay where he was featuring on Sand River? And the answer is yes, he did just do one, but he sent in another replay after I'd already completed that one, and I saw this and thought, oh, well, we can do both together. Well, not actually together, but we can do both replays. As you know, this tank is basically an assault tank destroyer based on the Conqueror. They started work on it in May of 1952. It was cancelled in the 1950s. They didn't decide to go ahead with it, but it existed only in blueprints. 123mm gun, capable of 480 alpha, penetration of 272 with the main gun, and with the premium rounds, it'll go through 320, and the HE rounds will generate 620 hit points of 130mm of pen. So if you get anything that's very, very light on armour, this thing will absolutely devastate them. Now he's backing up. I think that's mainly because he saw the Rhino Sorrente and the Badger from the enemy team coming in this direction and thought, no, he doesn't want to go ahead. Even though it is an assault tank destroyer, he didn't want to go ahead. He wanted to hold back and shoot at them from a distance. Now this actually, in the game, replaced the FV217 B183, the Death Star, in the game. A lot of people questioned that and they said, why? Because the Death Star was really good, it had incredible frontal armour. This thing does have similar frontal armour and is very strong, except for the lower plate. Oh, he tracked the Object 2684, and now he's been tracked again. And the second one goes through the weak spot on the side, or rather the side of the casement, which is very weak, and he's going for the lower plate, which you know is the weak spot on the Badger. Now he can get through that lower plate, and you saw he did. Oh, zipped over the top of the EBR 105, which reminds me, we've got a replay coming up for an EBR 105 very soon. Yes, Arty players do occasionally play EBR, but that's normally after they've actually had to go to see the psychiatrist, or it's not what you'd say a normal tank for an Arty player. Well, he penetrated the Badger there with actually firing through the main armour, and that was with a standard AP. He's actually now trying to aim for the sides. As you know, the sides are fairly weak, although you do need about 175mm of pen to get through it. Well, he's certainly handing out a lot of damage, so it actually was justified in holding this position rather than going all the way down there, because if he had, he would have been overwhelmed by that EBR, the Badger, and also that Bobject, who has since died. Now we're going to phase one on the side. Now he might decide to go through, but it'll probably ricochet. He's going for the cupola. Oh, well, he did hit, but it didn't pen. I often think when you see a tank, when you hear that it didn't penetrate the armour, you do realise there's now a shell sticking out of the armour, because it's gouged its way in and it never got through. So they've now got these kind of horns of these shells sticking out all over the vehicle that didn't pen, but have now become additional bits of armour. It's a pity that Wargaming can't model that, because it would be quite funny if they did. Anyway, he's got 3,000 hit points of damage. Now, you know, in the last battle he found it all very easy, because after he actually exposed his lower plate, he actually had a good game where he pulled back and the enemy was just trying to hit him as much as they could, but they couldn't get the shells through. Now, that Rhino Sorrente probably saw him. Got a Death Star here now. These are the two vehicles together. One replaced the other. The Badger replaced the Death Star. More's the pity. You still see occasional Death Stars in the game. They both suffer from the same problem, really, weak sides or weak rears. So if an enemy does manage to get on their side, then it could be badly damaged. Remember, the weak spot, the big weak spot, with where the ammo rack is right on the side of that casement. If you can get a shell in that side there, right where the casement ends, that box you're seeing on the side of the vehicle, if you can fire a shell in there, the enemy's in a lot of trouble. But he's going to go hull down, but the Badger's going hull down to him as well. He gets one into the lower plate. It's a low roll for 457, but he's now going to exchange shots with this guy, and then he's out the game. So we did take two shots, well, one shot from the Badger, block the rest. Now, can we get a shot on that T-54? Not easy. Okay, he's letting the Death Star go first. Yeah, the Death Star's got the channel, so to speak. We can fire for components, and he's got no penetration there. But look at that. That 183mm gun on the Death Star. That's a huge amount of damage. Remember, this is only 123mm. Death Star's 183. Huge gun. Here we go. Easy pen. No probs. 459 low roll. He's not going to be able to pen us back. And we're getting the next shot in. Yep. 453. The Death Star's coming in. Ram kill. And yes, he thanks the Death Star. Okay, so they're off. Neither of these two tank destroyers actually have very quick speeds. 30 kilometers an hour. Very slow. But then they are based on heavy tanks, so that's what you expect. That runner Sorrente appears to be running away. Okay, so Marky's going to take the lead on this one now. Remember, he's the one with the bigger armor than the Death Star. That's the point that the Wargaming sold this vehicle on, is the fact that it has such tremendous penetration. One shot takes out the Kunstpanzer, only 279 hit points. But remember, we still got that runner Sorrente to deal with. The Death Star's hanging back. He's letting us do the dirty work. And now they're actually coming in to support us.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Marky was a bit concerned. Oh! Well, he tried to snap on that runner Sorrente, but the runner Sorrente got one in before he could. And now he's blocking the shots that are coming from these enemy tanks above him. Okay, they've now been blocked from shooting at our teammates because Marky's here. If they do try to shoot, he'll put rounds into them. There is a T-49 nearby. He just got wiped out by our Leopard 1. Okay, so the enemy can't shoot, and that allows our guys to move up. The Progetto 66 is moving up. The runner Sorrente is behind that rock. There's nowhere else for him to go. If he does try to move out from that position, he's going to get spotted. And there he is. One shot through the side. It's a high roll for 516. And we got some spotting assist there. I think that might have been the Death Star, because it was a high figure. Oh, the kill shot goes in from the Progetto 66. So he claims that kill, and that allows Marky to move up. Good teamwork. There's only 4 enemy tanks left. Now, they do have a Progetto 65, an Object 705, and a Charfu 204. And as far as we know, only the Object 705 is actually down by the other end. So we've only got to face a very much weakened Progetto 65, which will go down to one of Marky's guns. Yeah, there you go. That's one out. The Charfu 204 is going to take a few more shots, but he's over the other side, and I'm not sure if we're going to get there in time, but we might get one round in if we're lucky. There he is. Oh, that shot behind his turret. He's raised his gun. He's not really bothered anymore, I think, and he's gone. And that is the end of the game for Marky. 2 shots in the lower plate. Well, this one was a decent game, just as Marky said. He only got a first class out of this one, not an ace tanker like in the previous game. He got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a fire effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, and he also got a high caliber in this one for dealing the most damage in the game. The reason he didn't get any steel wall or anything like that was that really he wasn't engaged or being shot at by the enemy that much. If we look at the team score, we can see that he easily got the highest damage in the game at 6,039 hit points. The Leopard 1 managed 4,551. The highest score on the enemy team was their T49 with 3,397. When it came to kills, it was shared with Marky getting 3, the Leopard 1 got 3, and then in second place we've got the Object 705 got 2, and so did the Progetto 66, I think it is the 66, no, the 65 on the enemy team, who also got 2. When it came to base XP, it's Marky again. So he's got the top in all 3 columns, actually, funnily enough. He got 1,117 base experience points. 1,075 went to the Spar Panzer RU251 on his own team. He must have done a fair bit of spotting. Yes, he did. Look at that, 3252. And then we've got the, after that, it's 997 going to the Leopard 1. He fired 22 rounds, got 17 direct hits and 14 penetrations, damage of 6,039, of which 3,277 were at more than 300 meters. So this game was much more long range than short range. He received 8 hits from the enemy, so not enough for a steel wall. You needed 11. Only 3 were penetrations and 5 non-penetrations. Block damage of 1,740, and he got 2,328 hit points of spotting assist. He took away 25,273 credits in this battle, and that's mainly down to the fact that he didn't fire that much in the way of premium rounds. And he also got a big bonus of 10,056 experience points because he got a mission completion as well. So very much a decent game. Pity that it's not an ace tanker, but there again, I don't think it was enough damage for an ace tanker, but it was certainly a very interesting game, and he did the right thing to pull back and let the enemy walk into a killing zone where he could actually do some damage to them before he started dealing with the Badger head on. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.